Now we'll add some images to our website. Let's click to edit the page. And we'll click down here to place our caret because that's where we want our image to go. And we click the Images button. Now this is going to bring up our images library. The only thing in there right now is our default header image, which we'll be changing later. So let's go ahead and upload another image. The first thing we do is decide which size we want our image to be. This will compress the image down to the proper dimensions and optimize it for quick loading. Now there's three options: half page, full page, and background. So let's examine what they mean. Now the standard width of your website is 1100 pixels, and we have these markers in the toolbar, and we can actually grab the edge of our browser window and line it up with those marks. This is the width of your website on all mobile devices and the minimum width of your website on regular computers. Now on a regular computer, there's no telling how wide the browser is because everybody's computer is different. So your website auto-expands to fill the width of the browser, which could be a bit larger. But your target is always 1100 pixels, so it's good to resize your browser to the indicator lines when editing. But I actually need to go a bit wider so that this video has the proper dimensions. Okay, so a full page image is going to be 1000 pixels in width, which leaves room for the standard 50 pixels spacing on each side of the table. A half page image, obviously, is only going to be 500 pixels wide. And a background image is going to be 1500 pixels wide because it will auto expand to fill the browser window, which could go that wide on a large screen. Now keep in mind that these options will only compress your images. So if the image you're uploading is, let's say, 700 pixels wide, and you select full page, which is 1000 pixels, it will not make your image larger. You never want to increase the size of an image because then it gets pixelated and looks really bad. So these options will only compress and optimize your images, but not expand them. And if you select half page, which is 500 pixels, it will compress the image down to 500 pixels. So let's go ahead and click half page. We select the file from our computer, click open, and the system uploads it. And there it is in my library. Okay, now let's place this image on our page. We simply click on the image to select it, and it puts that image in the preview window. It also adds the file path to the URL box. And we have some settings here. The first one is border. We're going to leave it on no. We're not going to set the alignment, and we'll leave the other two blank. Down here, it shows you the dimensions of the image, and you can change those if you want. Let's go ahead and insert. And there it is. Now this doesn't look right. Images will show up on the line of text where you place them. And since the image is much larger than the text, it looks weird. What we want is for the text to wrap around the image. So let's fix that. We click on the image to select it, then click the Images button. And here we see that it's already selected, so let's just change the alignment. We want the image to align to the left of the text and have the text wrap around it. Let's also round the corners. Let's add a radius of 5 pixels and add a border. Now we click Update. And our image is aligned to the left with our text wrapping around it. It has a border and the corners are rounded. Now if you'll notice, there's little squares all around this image, which we can grab for resizing. But remember, you only want to downsize the image, because if you increase the size, it gets pixelated and looks bad. So if you want your image to be half the width of the website, or smaller, you would upload with the half page button. If you want it anywhere from half page to a full page width, you would upload with the full page button. Okay, let's go up here to the header, but before we do, let's save our changes. Now we click the header button to edit the header. And remember, the header has the image placed as content with the floating inner table on top, so we can click the image to select it. Click the Images button, and we see that it's selected. and we can change it to whatever we want. We can upload a new image to use for our background, or up here we have a button for stock images. And if we go there, it's basically a long list of royalty-free background images. All of them are 1500 pixels wide by 600 pixels tall. So you can scroll down to see if there's anything that you like. And if so, you click the Add button, and it gets added to your library. Now we periodically add to this list so you can check back now and then for new images. And if you don't see anything that fits your needs, that's okay. On our help page, we have tons of links to websites where you can download royalty-free, high-quality images, and I'll show you that shortly. So let's go back to our images. And there's the image we added from the stock images. So let's select it. By the way, I want you to notice the settings. Because it's a background image that stretches to fit the page, this button down here is purple, meaning the image is set to full page. Otherwise, the button would be black. And we can turn the full page setting on and off. And when an image is set to full page, the border is off, the alignment is not set, there's no radius, CSS ID is set to full page, width is set at 100%, and height is blank. These are the proper settings for background images. So let's click Update. And now we have our new image in the background of the header. Okay, now let's add a logo to our header. We click to place the cursor, go to Images, select Half Page, and there it is. Let's select it, insert, and there it is. It's a little big. Let's shrink it down. Now this logo is a PNG, which means it can have a transparent background as opposed to a JPEG, which can only have a solid background. And this one, like most logos, has a transparent background because it's a graphic as opposed to a picture, like this one down here. Now let's say you have an image that's being used in multiple places on your website. Rather than going through and manually changing it on every page, you can use the Replace feature. When you click this button with the letter R, you get a notice letting you know that this image is selected to be replaced. And it lets you know that your new image must be a JPEG because the image you're replacing is a JPEG. Likewise, if we click on a PNG, it must be replaced with another PNG. We click OK, select our new image, and you see it replaced that image. So everywhere on your website where that image was used, the new image will automatically show up. So if we close this, and we reload our page, save changes, and let's reload the page, we see the image has been replaced. Okay, one last thing. Let's go to the help page. If you scroll down to the free resources links, here we have tons of places to go for royalty-free images. And over here are free image editors if you want to tweak your images or maybe place your logo and company name right in the header image. And we also offer custom header design if you want us to do it for you. So that's it for images.